stop just for a minute and think, what am I thankful for? My first thoughts are my family, my home, my friends. My family and my friends are there to support me and help me in every decision I make. My home provides safety and security. What would happen to me if I didn't have these things? It's hard to imagine what my life would be like without the shelter of my home and the support of my family. What if everything I had fit into a small backpack? What if I had nowhere to go when it rained, when it was cold, and no one to call when I needed help? Every year, 2 to 3 million people have periods of homelessness. Rates of mental illness among the homeless are twice that of the general population. 2 years ago, I met a man named Joseph. I was leaving a friend's house and he walked to my car window. He asked me if he could pick up pecans, and I told him that it wasn't my house. He told me his name was Joseph and he was really hungry. The way he said the word hungry, it made my heart sink, and I knew I had to get Joseph something to eat. I could tell that Joseph suffered from some sort of mental illness. Mental illness is one of the leading causes of homelessness in America. Most mentally ill people are also low income because their disorders create obstacles to employment. They tend to be in poor physical health and stay in more trouble with the legal system than most people who are homeless and don't have a mental disorder. We're in need of more community-based treatment options with appropriate services and affordable housing. We've lost sight of the true people in need in our country. We need to be taking care of those who are truly needy and not those people who are capable. I told Joseph that I would get him something to eat and to stay around Lee Street so I could find him. I went to Burger King. I got a double Whopper, a large fry, and a large sweet tea. I couldn't wait to get back and give him the meal. I turned on Lee Street where I'd left him, and he was nowhere in sight. I rode up and down Lee Street. I still couldn't find him. I began riding around the other streets just looking. After about an hour, I finally located him in the back of the Catholic church. He was picking up pecans. I called his name, and he looked up, and he looked really scared, and he started to tell me, I can pick up pecans here. I told him that I had just brought him something to eat. His face lit up, but I could tell he didn't even remember talking to me. He asked me how I knew he was hungry. He opened his bag, and inside I could see pecans, an old plastic cup, and a blanket. I asked him where he lived and if he had any family. And he told me that he lived there, and I must be his family. Over the next couple of months, I would look for Joseph around town. Every time I would see him, I would bring him something to eat. He started to where he at least recognized me, or at least my car. I decided that I would do everything that I could for Joseph. I couldn't provide him with a place to stay, but I could feed him, give him blankets, and bring him clothes. Joseph doesn't need to be institutionalized. He's not aggressive, and he poses no threat to anyone. Joseph just needs a treatment option that allows him to build trust in caretakers, housing and meal options, and possible treatment for his particular illness. My community does have a homeless shelter. It's ran by a local church, but it's very small and it can only hold a few people. Food's available, but it's provided on a donation basis. Federal programs do exist, but funding at its current level cannot meet the needs of the numerous people with serious mental illness. What's the answer for people like Joseph? The majority of the homeless population are in poor health. They have high rates of TB, hypertension, asthma, diabetes, and HIV. This increases hospitalization and it creates more fragmented care and less attention is paid to the mental illness. Joseph continues to pick up pecans and on cold nights I get him a room in a local hotel. Joseph doesn't even know my name. He only knows that I'm a familiar face. I'm very limited in what I can do to care for him, but he's always happy for anything that I give him. And it makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I've made a difference. He's taught me to be thankful for everything that I have. I would like to bring a program to my community to help establish relationships with homeless who are mentally ill. Once the relationships have been established, housing and treatment options along with structured daily activities could form a framework to end the homelessness for many individuals. Until that time, I will continue to keep a watchful eye out over Joseph and help him the best way that I can. In some ways, I feel like I'm giving back. I've been blessed with my family and my friends and the ability to provide housing for my family. And I hope to set an example for my children so they will understand the importance of helping other people who are in need. Above all, I just want them to see how blessed they are as well.